Welcome back. This just in. Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger is calling now for an investigation into ACORN's activities in California, saying that news stories he's seen trouble him greatly. Now, with the organization under fire, ACORN CEO Bertha Lewis said today, quote, "We are going to go to whatever lengths are necessary to reestablish the public trust." But what's it going to take? Here to tell us now just what's going on inside ACORN, Bertha Lewis. Ms. Lewis, thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, thanks for having me, Rick.
Listen, how do you explain what Americans have seen on some of these videotapes? I mean, somebody advising, alleged pimps and prostitutes, or people describing themselves as pimps and prostitutes to set up brothels. How do you explain that?
Pretty horrendous, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, this would curl anyone's hair. And it was outrageous. It was indefensible. Even though we know these tapes, no one has shown totally unedited tapes, because you don't see tapes where they were thrown out of ACORN offices. You don't see tapes where people are told, we can't help you. But be that as it may, I will not tolerate unprofessional, not meeting our standards.
So the people, so the people have been fired. The people that we see on these tapes have been fired.
But listen, Rick, I've got over 700 employees, and this is a handful of folks. I immediately took swift action, and I said, you know what? We're going to look at this. We're going to make a review from top to bottom so that this thing never happens again. We work too hard to have some trumped-up thing like this happen.
Well, you got some serious problems right now, and let me take you through them. The Senate voted to block your housing grants. The Census Bureau is blocking your organization from being used in their studies, and now you may be investigated by the FBI as well. I mean, you know what this is? This is a credibility problem. How are you going to overcome it?
Well, I don't think that this is just a credibility problem. I think this is a well-orchestrated, well-funded, concerted, relentless campaign to attack this organization. We have been attacked from 2004, 2006. In fact, Karl Rove's emails just revealed a couple of weeks ago show that politically he directed Alberto Gonzalez and U.S. attorneys to go after us and no matter what, prove something on them.
But some people would say, I understand that, but some people would say that you're shifting the emphasis here because, and look, as a journalism at CNN, I will tell you that neither our organization's standards and practices would allow the kind of interview or a seeming misrepresentation that took place when they went after this story to get this video that everyone's talking about. That notwithstanding, the video is still there, Bertha, and we still see these people doing the saying and saying these things. So you could say anything you want to say about your attackers, but in the end, the evidence is what's hurting the credibility of your organization. How do you respond to that?
Well, I'll repeat it again in case you didn't understand me the first time.
Okay.
These people were terminated. We took immediate action regardless. It is unacceptable and never met our professional standards. Let me give you another fact. Not one document, not one application, not a shred of paper was ever put in or, any process gone with these folks. They came in, they did their thing, and you know what? We said to these employees, this can't be tolerated. I am sorry, you don't meet ACORN standards.
But here, and certainly that sounds like the right response, but here's the problem. The problem is this is not an isolated incident, because it was the incident of what at least you would have to consider was a sloppy voter registration campaigns earlier last year.
Let me stop you right there.
Please.
There was no sloppy voter registration campaign.
How would you describe it then?
In fact, our quality control worked, because you know why? Every single card, every single employee of ours that filled out a fraudulent card, you know who turned them in?
Who?
We did. We turned in every card, we flagged them, we tagged them. We were the ones that supplied all of this evidence. That's why we know our quality control worked. That's why when these filmmakers went to dozens of offices, they were turned away. You need to make sure that CNN is able to show unedited versions of these tapes, show the whole thing, so that we can get back to the work of helping low and moderate income people of color in this country.
Your point is well taken, and we thank you, Bertha Lewis, for coming on tonight and taking the heat.
Thank you.